So this is our IFS presentation and our topic is leasing. So I'll start with introducing the concept and defining it. So basically lease is a contractual agreement between leasee and leaser in which excuse me, sorry, later. Yeah. So it is a contract between leasee and leaser in which the leasee pays the leaser for the use of asset. So the asset could be a property, building, vehicle, land. Most of these assets could be leased. So basically in this contract, there are two parties in which the leaser is the legal owner of the asset, but the leasee has permission to use the asset, but he has to follow certain rules and abide by certain regulations of the leaser, such as if the contract says that the property shouldn't be used for commercial purposes or business purposes, then the leasee should only use the property or the asset for his personal use. Uh, Going forward, there are two kinds of lease. Two kinds of lease. One is a tangible lease and intangible lease. The tangible lease includes land, building, goods, etc. And intangible may be a software or program. So leasing is a very formal process. It is under the law. It is applicable under contract law of applicable jurisdiction. So there are various clauses depending on the property is being leased. It may include the date and duration, the name of the parties, the rules and regulation that the leaser wants the leasee to follow. So and other various crucial things that is required for the process. So now Animesh would go forward with the features of leasing.
There are various features of leasing. First of them is the contract. In the contract of the lease financing, basically two parties are included, that is the owner and the user. The second is assets. The subject matter to the lease financing contract are the assets, that is property to be leased by the leaser. Lease period. The lease cannot be cancelled under a specific time duration, that is basically the lease period. Rental payments. The lease rental is basically the amount the lessee pays to the lessor for the transaction. Uh, Next slide is maintain. Maintain. The cost of maintenance and the repairs, taxes, insurance, and other expenses pertaining to the asset leased. So basically, this is the provision for the payment. Terms of lease. It is the period for which the lease is in operation by the leaser. Ownership. During this period, basically the property's ownership remains with the leaser and also it's used to allow to the lessee. Terminating. At this period, then the contract may be terminated. There's also an option to renew the lease or to completely buy the asset by the leaser. Next slide. Okay.
So there are two types of lease: lease which is based on nature, and lease which is based on method. Can we have the next slide? First, we will discuss about the lease which is based on nature. There are many types of lease which is based on nature, like operating lease. It is a cancelable lease where the lessee can be allowed to make period payment for 5 years or less to obtain assets at service. The other one is the financial lease, which is non-cancelable lease, and it is for a long period of time than operating lease. In this case, the lessor transfer all the substantial risk and rewards identical to the asset, whether or not the ownership is transferred. Can we have the next slide? And now we will discuss about the lease which is based on method. There are direct lease. Under the direct leasing, a firm acquires the right to use an asset from the manufacturer directly, and the ownership of the asset leased out remains with the manufacturer itself. Sales and leaseback. Under the sale and leaseback arrangement, the firm sells an asset that it owns and then leases to the same asset back from the buyer. This way, the lessor gets the asset for use and at the same time it's get cash. Leverage lease. Leverage lease is the same as a direct lease, expect that a third party, the lender, is involved in addition to the lessor and lessee The lender party finances the purchase of an asset to be leased. The lessor turns out to be the borrower. These were the types of lease. And yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank
Recording बंद कर.